Welcome, everyone. This is Joe Dagger, the host of the Business 901 podcast. With me today is Lisa Bodell. She is an award-winning author and CEO of FutureThink. As a futurist and expert on the topic of change, she serves as a global council member of the World Economic Forum and has helped thousands of senior leaders ignite innovation at Bloomberg, Pfizer, Lockheed Martin, and many others. Her new book is Why Simple Wins. Most of us, when we think about simplifying things in organizations, making it easier. But it really needs to be a mindset, kind of that cultural thing you're talking about, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it's making bold choices. It's like when the Tesco CEO said, the big thing was more. Within having so many SKUs in your store, they have so much stuff, right? It's like when you go to Costco, they have so many things. And what they found was they could actually cut their products down in some of their aisles by more than 50%, and they didn't lose a thing. In fact, they got more customers as a result. So this was a very bold choice to be focused, right? That's a cultural thing. I loved the story with Southwest when we were doing research, where there was a customer that complained that they rode on the plane and they said, there's no first class, I didn't have a hot meal, I didn't get to, and a bunch of other things. And the CEO finally wrote back and said, we'll miss having you as a customer. That's not what we do. We didn't promise you first class. We didn't promise you to have these excellent meals. Fly another airline. We're here to be efficient and get people on and off the plane. So, it takes a bold leader to be focused, right, and stick to simplification, and they will be rewarded for it because customers will come to you for what you're offering, right? Rather than trying to offer everything, they come to you for the one thing that they know that you're good at. And Southwest, that story is a good example.
When Steve Jobs came back at Apple, I mean, they were never first at anything. Everybody talks how innovative they were. I mean, they weren't the first MP3 player. I always was amazed about them is their ability to say no, and you could lay all their products on a kitchen table, and everybody could name what they did and what they didn't, even non-Apple users.
Right.
Okay, and
right. Well,
they were a little bit successful, right?
A little. I'd say a little. You're right. Well, what I love about what you just said is this is an example where culturally, and it comes from the leader, right, that it's okay to say no. And that's really hard for people because they want to say no, for example, to meetings. But then they're upset when they're not included, right? So we have to get comfortable with the leaders exemplifying the behavior of, hey, I don't feel like I need to go to that meeting. Hey, I don't think you need to be included there because you can use your time differently. Hey, do you really need to focus on that one zombie project that seems to go on forever, but we never have the guts to kill? So we need to get in this comfort zone of what are the behaviors that we want our culture to stand for. Apple's saying no, like that story of Jobs always asking Joni Ivey, hey, what did you say no to today? What a great question, right? So what's that kind of question that you're going to have within your company? Like, for example, S&P had this thing of how many decisions did you make without me today? What a great question, right?
Sure.
So that allows people to say you're empowered to make a decision. How many of you made without me? So you know that I'm looking for you to do that. And I'd love for people on the podcast here to think about, okay, what's the question you're going to ask people that's going to drive your culture in terms of simplification?
So simple is really a competitive advantage.
Very much so. In fact, I believe that simplicity is going to be the competitive advantage of our time. It has to become our new operating system. And it's really easy to understand why, right? It's number one, the future or successful businesses are going to be based on speed, not scale. In fact, scale inhibits, right? It creates complexity, not simplicity most of the time. So you need speed. And the only way you're going to do that is to get rid of the things that aren't working. Also, it's a skill that's available to us all. Every individual on your team has the capacity to simplify. You as a leader need to give them the permission and even the mandate to do it. So here it is. Everyone has it. Activate it. It's a competitive advantage. Start using it against your competition. And there's really simple ways to get it started. So I really believe people that operate with simplicity are going to be the ones that are successful in the future.
And I want to tell the listeners that the book is not just for leaders, okay? It is for anyone within the organization. You can pull from it just really I mean, an actual sales guy could pull from it and learn a lot.
Even the tactics, one of the most popular tools in the book is there's 50 tactics to start simplifying. And I love that because we spend all this other time, right, on these bigger tools about killing complexity and the metrics for simplification. But what's the one everyone turns to every time? The tactics to simplify, because they're the little things like no scroll emails, writing in the subject line NNTR, no need to respond, so people don't fill your inbox with junk and reply alls. There's little things that people can do to start the habit and get people comfortable with this change. Because remember, humans aren't comfortable with change. Giving them little things to show that it can matter, and then building the behaviors from there, easy fix for people to do. Any individual can do that. It doesn't have to be a leader.
What I really got a kick out of was your 5 steps to simplification. Because
okay.
I didn't look at it as something for myself. But I looked at it as a way of how I should be maybe treating customers from a sales perspective, because the awareness, the top of the funnel or whatever, it kind of looked like a sales funnel. Identify, then you prioritize which ones that I need to be calling on. Then I execute. And then as they become customers, the habit formation of getting them to use the product and everything. I said, well, she just did a basically life cycle of a customer somewhat there.
Well, thank you. I mean, I have to say that was another thing of what's the process for simplifying with awareness, identify. I mean, it's kind of like the first step in making a dream come true is to wake up, right? That's a great phrase, which is most people, they're aware there's a problem, but they're not. By the way, no one thinks they're the problem. That's the key thing with simplification. Everyone thinks everyone else is the problem. So, and my team will tell you that I'm a problem in many instances. So you have to have your own awareness of where you cause complexity, because everyone does it, and then identify where that is and start prioritizing how to tackle it. Because you can, it'd be really easy to say, we're going to redo our CRM, right? Or can we just start with some basic things first? So that kind of helps you figure out what to tackle first to get the momentum going and then make it a habit. So I love that you like that.
What is upcoming for you, and what's the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
So 2 things that are upcoming. One is we just launched the toolkit that goes separately with the book. FYI, it's also on Amazon. But I really believe in the practicality, and I want to give people the tools so they can get the toolkit that comes with the book. That just launched, so we're excited about that. And then the next thing is we're launching our course that goes with it. So people sometimes they're not self-starters. They want to have that kickstart. So we're launching these half-day, full-day programs that actually ignite the tools in the book so then people can take them back to their teams, and that'll roll out next year. You can please contact me. I am at Lisa Bodell on Twitter. Our website is futurethink.com. And you can contact me email-wise at innovate@futurethink.com. And that'll get to me, and I'm happy to answer questions all day long about simplification. I'm passionate about it.
Enjoyed the book tremendously. Like I've said earlier, it's one of the better books on simplification I've read. So I congratulate you on that.
Huge compliment, really huge compliment, because I know your background, and if I can please the folks like this, like yourself and the others on this podcast, I feel like that's a personal win. So thank you very much.
Okay. Well, this podcast will be available in the Business 901 iTunes store and the Business 901 blog site. So I would like to thank everyone for listening, and thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much.